All right, so tell everybody your name.
My name is Terica Ellis.
Okay, where you from?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, South Memphis.
Okay. So let's just talk about how we ran into you. So me and Wicked were directing one of your friend's music videos yesterday. So we were waiting for her to come. Everybody just talking. And then I know you was talking to Wicked and I kind of heard you say like, something like you was on papers and stuff like that. And then when I talked to you earlier, I was like, I'm from St. Louis. And you was like, oh yeah, I lived in St. Louis and stuff like that. And so then you had mentioned, that you had dated Tim from Sweetie Pies.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you were just a part of that whole thing. And I was just like, wow. Like, so how, like, do you want to kind of, like, talk about what happened, like, how y'all met, And...
Okay, well, actually, I dealt with Tim for about 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
6 to 7 years. And I was dancing at Bottoms Up in St. Louis,
Right.
and my homegirl, like me and a bunch of my homegirls, used to go down to St. Louis and dance from Memphis.
Right.
And my homegirl was talking to one of Tim partners.
Which
and
one, Bruce or?
Nah, not Bruce. No, this is like one of his like partners, like ain't on the front street. They used to be him like that or whatever. So they had like a grand opening for their Sweetie Pies and stuff like that, and it was like I think they was like getting ready to open up. It was like years and years ago. I want to say it was about 2009, maybe 2009. So we met or whatever, and so that's just how we got connected, and then we just like dealt with each other on and off for years.
So you went to the grand opening, you met him there?
No, I actually met him at the club.
Okay, yeah, because you said your friend was talking to one of his friends.
Yeah, and they all come in the club. You know how a group of guys come in the club and they throw money and spend money and connect. So we kind of connected like that. We, changed numbers. We'll link up, kick it, Of course, he broke bread.
Yeah.
So it was kind of one of them things. I really didn't give a care what he had going on as long as he broke bread with me.
Right.
So it was kind of like one of those things. So over the years, we dated, like, we stayed in contact. I moved around, he moved around, and we'll link up when we linked up. So that's kind of like our situation, like friends with benefits. So
okay,
like
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I know you said you had lived in St. Louis for a bit. So was that kind of like you were dealing with him when you was in St. Louis?
Well, actually, when I lived in St. Louis, it was more so I was on my money mission.
Right.
I wasn't really locked down by nobody. Like, so St. Louis just was like, it was like my money trap. So I moved there and lived for a couple of years, and then I moved back home. I stayed in Atlanta, just kind of move around. You be wanting just new atmospheres.
Right.
So it's kind of like one of those things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then, so around that time when, everything happened, so I know he had opened up a Sweetie Pies in Memphis. So were you living in Memphis at that time?
Yeah, see, he opened up a Sweetie Pies after the situation went on with his nephew.
Mm-hmm.
So I was living in Memphis, and Tim was living in California.
Right. I remember.
And he, they had Sweetie Pies in
California.
Yeah, in LA. So they had the Sweetie Pies up there, and I was living in Memphis or whatever. So I went down to St. Louis. I was back and forth dancing in St. Louis, and he came in town and hit me up or whatever, and I went and met up with him. But particularly, regular deal.
Yeah.
So, but this time, he was like, he was stressed out. He was in town because he was trying to find his nephew to get some money from him. His nephew had stole like $200,000 in money and jewelry from his mom's house.
Right.
So you said he was trying to look for his nephew because he had took 200.
Like $200K in jewelry and money. He stole it from his mom,
from Tim's mom.
Oh, damn.
Right. So he was like, you know how when you dealing with somebody, y'all just be talking about y'all life, y'all just talking about everything, you know. So just talking. So he was like, my little knucklehead nephew, that ran off with some money, and telling me what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So he was like, matter of fact, he showed me a picture. He like, hey, you sound like, yeah. I met this little nigga a couple of weeks ago in the club. He was like, he was a rapper from Louisiana.
Damn.
And was asking me to do his video, be in his video and stuff. I was like, wow, this your nephew?
That's crazy.
So that's how that happened. So he was like, can you get in contact with him? I was like, he was just texting me. I'm sure I can text him on the number that he was texting me on. He was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Do that for me or whatever. He was like, matter of fact, he was like, I'm going to give you 10 racks just for helping me because I need to get this money back for him. I know he ain't spent all of it.
Right.
I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I hit him up. He responded back. And so Tim was like, all right, bet. He was like, matter of fact, he was like, let's go. He was like, let's go to Walgreens. I'm going to get a burner phone and give you that. So I'm thinking that he going to take the burner phone and have me talk to him on it. And he going to get it. And he going to finish talking to him. Well, you know, whatever the case might be. That's what I'm thinking.
So
I'm thinking I done
really
did.
know what was going. You just, because you known him for a long time.
Yeah, so it's like, and then I never known him to be on no type of gangster stuff. Like, he's. No, he wasn't on no gangster stuff like this. A TV restaurant, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
You didn't know it was gonna go that far.
Exactly, definitely not. So it was like a kind of like thing to where, you know, from Memphis, we have family members that's crackheads, and you know, or just like badass family members that, like, I had a nephew that stole from me. He stole like $900 and hid it at my mama's house. So me and me and his mom went and picked him up from school and beat his ass and made him tell us. He still didn't tell us where the money is, so we threatened to call the police on him. And he told, so it was like, I'm thinking it's a situation like this, like, but it's 200 and something K, like, this different. You know, these TV people, like, this a whole nother level.
Like he broke into the house and took
exactly. So this a whole nother level. So I'm thinking like, yeah, like I would want to get my money back too.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm thinking. So he asked me to, like I said, he asked me to text with him and stuff. So then he ended up saying he need to go handle some business and was like, find out where he gonna be at later. So I'm like, cool. So I'm texting with him or whatever. Tim asked me to find out where the nephew would be later because he had some business he needs to handle or whatever. So boom, I'm texting with him, and so I'm at the mall. He like, I'm getting ready for my video shoot. He like, can you pick up me a pair of pants or something? I was like, cool. That would secure me knowing where he was gonna be at anyways. So I get the pants and I tell Tim, you know, I relate everything to him, what was going on. So I tell him like, okay, so I'm finna go take him the pants. He like, bet. He was like, call my partner because I'm out of pocket. Call my partner, he'll know what to do.
And with the partner, that ended up being the other dude that was on the case.
That ended up being the dude that killed him.
Okay.
So he like, call my partner, you know what I'm saying? Give him the address. So I do that. So the partner tell me, let me know when you finna pull up. I'm like, okay, boom. I let him know I'm finna pull up. I pull up. Dre comes to the car and he gets the pants. Boom, he like, what you about to do? I'm like, shit, I'm about to go back home to Memphis or whatever. He was like, boom, appreciate that. You know
so this
what I'm
was
saying?
at the studio where he was
This was at the studio where he was at. He was like, boom, appreciate that. I was like, all right, take care. I pull off. I make it to the light. I heard gunshots.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, what the fuck? But then this was on Natural Bridge. You
So
always hear
you
gunshots.
always heard gunshots on
Natural Bridge. Like, my little girl used to be a cheerleader on the team, and they used to practice in that park, and gunshots gonna pop off. This Natural Bridge, this the hood. This North, you know what I'm saying, North St. Louis. Like, this the hood. This where Sex of Red from.
Yeah,
this
sure.
the hood, you hear me?
Right.
So I'm like, hold up, shit. But it didn't feel right. So I called Tim. I'm like, I just heard gunshots. He like, go home. Don't say nothing to nobody. Go home.
I'm like, what the fuck? At this point, my heart beating faster than a motherfucker. But see, I had a dude at the time. And like me and my dude was living together, everything. So I called my dude like when I pulled out from the hotel with Tim, when we was on the way to go get the phones, I called my dude and told him everything that was going on and asked him for his advice. He was like, you trust the nigga? I was like, I've been fucking with the nigga for years. He ain't never been on no bullshit, like, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, we thinking he really trying to get the money.
Right, because if you know, and
That's a lot of money.
yeah.
Nah, for sure.
That's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real.
That's
for
a
real.
lot of money.
Whew, that's a.
That's
So
not
I'm-
nothing to just be like,
yeah. So that's a lot of money. So I'm thinking like he want his money. I'm thinking like maybe he'll have him followed or something. You know what I'm saying? Lay low, follow him, find out. You know what I'm saying? Roll up on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, man,
Scare him, try to
scare him.
make
Now, you know what I'm saying? Let me get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. That's where my mind
I
going.
think anybody will think like that.
So that's what my mind. But when I called him, and he tells me, don't say nothing to nobody and go home. I was already going home anyway.
And you being from Memphis, you
But
know what
yeah,
that
I'm
means.
like, hold up, wait a minute. So I gets home. He told me to get rid of the phone too. He told me to get rid of the phone.
You already know, but stop right there. By you being from Memphis, when you get to hearing all this,
Exactly. So
you
I'm
like, oh,
hold
this
up.
some other shit.
So I called my dude. I'm on my way home. I'm holler at you when I get home. Right? At this point, I did 100 getting to Memphis. You hear me?
Yeah.
I had a little Acura. I did 100 getting to Memphis.
And you come from St. Louis.
Exactly. So I get home. I probably made it to Memphis in about 3 hours.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet. Shit.
You hear me? So I
Hard
make it
beating the
home.
whole time.
Man, the whole time. So I get home. My dude like, look at the news.
Oh,
He like, man, that fuck nigga. That fuck nigga got you on that bullshit. That fuck nigga. You know, he was so mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad too. I'm like, man.
And you got to think about coming from where he coming from. This somebody, you know what I'm saying?
So did your boyfriend know you was dealing with him too? Like,
Man, my nigga
to get
was,
money? You
Yeah,
know
of
what
course.
I'm saying? So he was cool.
Exactly.
We a team.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what's
We
up.
a team. We,
Yeah.
we getting this money, bringing it, coming together. We a team.
That's some real shit.
That's you know what I'm saying. Like I had been fucking with him since I was like 17 years old, and I was dancing. I started dancing at 16. So like
So he
this
know
had
everything.
been, we had been on and off for years. Like he used to take me back when I was young. We used to pull up on dudes, and you know what I'm saying. He'll take me to meet old men, get some. We would always just say always been a team our whole life. Like you know what I'm saying. We had a bond. Like
Are you still with him?
nah. I'm gonna tell you after that, my mind started playing tricks on me.
It
Like
can.
seriously,
Yeah.
because now I done got caught up in this. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
For a nigga to have his own nephew killed, and I know about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna go on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like with anything, with the police, with anything. Like I don't know nothing. All I know is it's survival mode.
Nah,
But
for
I
sure.
gotta play this nigga close
Yeah.
because we had already talked about me coming to LA because I was getting ready to open up a boutique.
Yeah.
I had got a building on Lamar in Airways. So I was going to LA to the fashion district.
The
He
fashion
he had
district,
put me up
vendors.
on the fashion district. Like he used to put me up on a lot of stuff. You know, as far as like, you know, getting legit money and, you know, because I wanted to stop dancing and, you know, change my life around. But shit, I ain't gonna lie, that shit took me deeper. Like,
Man.
I started drinking more. I started wilding. Like, I started hanging with goons.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I need protection.
You were scared.
So
I was
let-
scared.
So that okay, because I want them to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you get home to your dude mad. So y'all look on the news, nephew dead.
Right.
So till you throw the phones away, when do you get when? Okay, in that process, in that 2-week process, like, did you hear from him again?
Of course, I end up, like I said, I had already had plans to go to LA,
Okay.
like within probably like a week after
You
it
said you was
happened.
playing it close. Playing it
Right, so I had already was on, you know what I'm saying? So I get to LA and I meet up with him at the restaurant, but I got my mom and my daughter with me. So I know you ain't gonna do nothing with me. We in a public restaurant. We was like we was like at this real popular seafood restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So we go, we sit down, we ain't talk about nothing. I think he just was trying to feel my vibe, you know.
Trying to check
Because that's the only time I saw him while, and I was in LA probably a week. With, you know, with my mom, then we going to, you know, visit the beaches downtown, you know, just, excuse me, ooh,
No, you
Lord,
good.
vacationing and business, because I had to get a whole lot of inventory and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So after that, I didn't talk to Tim for a while. You know,
What's a while?
probably a few months.
Okay.
But he contacted me, and he told me stay out of St. Louis.
Mm.
Like a couple, he was like stay out of St. Louis.
Mm.
But how you expect to get somebody $10,000 and put them in a predicament like that and think they supposed to be able to? That's where I made my money at, St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't expect me to stay out of St. Louis. Matter of fact, I don't even think it was no couple months. It probably was like probably a month or so later, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he hit me up. He was like, stay out of St. Louis. You got a warning for questioning on your name. He was like playing the case close. By him being the uncle, he knew every details and everything that was going on with the case.
Because they coming to him.
Because they
telling
coming to
everything.
him and the mom. You know what I'm saying? They coming to him. And the mama was already telling him, talk to him about any and everything anyways. Like, as far as that's how he knew Andre was even in St. Louis. Because the mom told him. But see, I didn't find out all of this until after I got arrested. So it's a lot I didn't find out until the feds picked me up.
So you going by your life, and people don't know how stressful this thing hanging over your head. You see what I'm saying? Like, people say you thinking about it every day. Every day. Police car, you see a car, you thinking they finna come. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It was one of them things you want to forget. It's like you want to forget it happened. Like, you want to, like, you drowning with liquor and stuff. Like, you know, you just try to, you pray to God. First of all, I pray to God. I'm a friend. All my life, I'm a God-fearing woman. And I don't even believe in, you know what I'm saying, nobody else taking nobody else's life. It ain't never that serious.
yeah, it's not. You
It
know
ain't
what I'm
never
saying?
that serious. I feel like God gives life and he takes life. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
And that's God's power. Who are we to do that?
No,
You know what I'm
for sure.
saying? So it was really messed up. You know, it messed me up. Like, but and then to continue to have to talk to this person every now and then just to keep them on the up and up. Because if you killed your nephew and I know about it, what the fuck would you do to me?
So, and I'm glad you said that. Was it like something in your mind, like, man, he trying to see if I'm gonna say something, he gonna try to hurt me, type stuff like that?
Yep. So I started dancing in Alabama.
Okay.
So I switched it up and I started dancing in Alabama. And then I met my little girl father. I have a small kid. She's 6.
That's what's up.
So I met her dad, and I, you know, started messing with him and dating him. And so, like, Tim, you know, he kind of backed up. Like, you know how men don't say, no, you in a relationship.
Yeah.
They kind of keep their distance. So it was kind of one of them things. But he hit me up a couple times, and he was like, I see you live in Atlanta. You know, he watched me. Like, he's basically stalked my social media. So he was like, I see you in Atlanta. And I was like, yeah, you know, casual conversation.
Atlanta or Alabama?
So my little girl dad is from Alabama and lived in Alabama, but we got a house in Atlanta.
Okay.
So we used to be kind of like back and forth from Atlanta to Alabama, because it's only like
Because it's like
2
like
hours.
Birmingham or
Like,
something.
yeah, Birmingham. It's only
real
like
close.
an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. So yeah, one of those things. So he kind of like backed up. You know, I ended up getting pregnant and stuff, and I ended up leaving my little girl's dad and moved back to Memphis. So when I did that, after I had her, I got it, and Tim called me. You know, he checked my temperature, whatever. So after I had her, I opened up a salon, and he opened up a Sweetie Pies, across the street from my salon
In Memphis.
in Memphis.
Right.
So he's
On Bill Street.
no. On
Wasn't
Hickory
this
Hill.
restaurant like at the? Because it was one. I think that one never opened. I
It
think he was
never
trying to
opened.
Yeah.
It never opened. He had one on Bill Street, but it never opened.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a little in them little suites on Hickory Hill in Night Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I had a salon in there because I do lashes and teeth whitening and wigs and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So he ended up opening up a Sweetie Pies across the street. And he contacted me up. He hit me up. He was like, yeah, I got a restaurant across the street from your salon. And I'm like, how the hell you even, you know, like, oh, wow.
Man.
So he started, like, really, like, contacting me then. Because you know what I'm saying, I didn't have no, you know what I'm saying, I was single.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he was really, like, slick contacting me. And I, you know, talked to him for a few minutes. Come across the street to Sweetie Pies. And we'll just talk for a few minutes. And he'll let me know what all he got going on. And it'll be that on that. So he started trying to get me to get my family to run his business. Because he started saying Bruce, his homeboy, was stealing from him. He said Bruce was stealing from him and stuff like that. So I was disgusted with him, to be honest. Like, you know, but I couldn't show my truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't let nobody know, like,
how you feel.
And wear your feelings on your sleeve.
right. So he started trying to get me to get my mom and my cousin them to take over his Sweetie Pies. I'm like, my mama like, hell no. Like, nah, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I go back to St. Louis. He's mad at this point.
How long from to the timeline for they'll know? How long?
Okay, so it happened in 2016.
Okay.
So now we're in 2019.
So, okay. There you go.
So 2016 it happened. 2017 I got pregnant.
Okay.
And had my baby in 2017. So so this got to be in 2018. No, we're in 2018.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So we're in 2018 at this point. And so we're going into 2019.
Okay.
And I started back going to St. Louis because at the end of the day,
you gotta get your money.
I gotta get my money. You know, so I went to St. Louis, and he called mad. At this point, he was furious. Like, didn't I tell you to stay out of St. Louis? I'm like, this fuck nigga. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I get back home to Memphis, and I had someone come into my house. Somehow my garage got broken, and someone came into my house. I was in the bathroom getting ready to take my daughter to the doctor, and I looked up, and it was a man standing in my bathroom door with a hoodie on and a gun pointed at me. I was like, I just started talking to God. I can't even tell you. It was like it was replaying in my head. And so my little baby woke up crying. She was like 1. So she woke up crying. And then the guy took off running out the house. Didn't take nothing or nothing.
As soon as you get back.
As soon as I get back.
That's crazy as hell.
So I called my best friend, and I got the hell out of Memphis. I packed up, and I left my nice ass house in Cordova and went to Houston.
And then he had a restaurant in Houston.
So I didn't see him in Houston. I didn't see him in Houston.
Damn.
I didn't see him in Houston.
So you go to Houston. You out there living. Did he
I didn't run
contact
into
you?
him. I think I talked to him on the phone a couple times or whatever. But I didn't never see him in Houston. I talked to him on the phone a couple times. But I wasn't in Houston long. I just got my money up, grind up, and got me a house in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I went back to Atlanta.
Okay.
So I go back to Atlanta. I stayed in Atlanta. Everything was fine.
So is this all in 2019?
This is all in 2019.
Okay.
So I go to Atlanta. I stay in Atlanta for a little while. But some kept telling me just to go back home to Memphis. I went back home to Memphis. It's still in 2019. Cause it was like I was having issue with my kids. Like my youngest had sickle cell, and then my oldest was a teenager, and she was like giving me issues.
Right.
So I needed some family support.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
And then I found myself running up and down the highway. From Alabama, I would like drive all the way to Alabama, dance, and drive all the way back to Atlanta. And I was drinking so much. When I say I drank so much in those years to just try to like
Bury the stuff in your
just
head.
like bury everything. It was, you know, and I ended up being in a real bad car accident, drinking and driving. I, you know what I'm saying, fell asleep at the wheel.
Damn.
And I knew then, I was like, okay, something gotta change.
Something gotta change, yeah.
I was like, something gotta change.
Man.
Some got to. So I went back to Memphis and I started working at my god sister tax office. So I was working at her tax office. And then I was like, this ain't it either. So I hit my homegirl up and I was like, you know, went and started doing lashes and teeth whitening and stuff at her shop, at her salon. And so things started taking off to where I ain't even have to go dance no more.
That's what's up.
And then COVID hit.
Oh, damn.
But when COVID hit,
That money came in.
that money came in.
That's how it was
because
for
it
us.
was like
A lot of like main franchises and stuff, they were closed down, so people were gonna come to you because you know you gonna pull
exactly
up,
like
they can
I
pull
was
up.
literally doing lashes and stuff in my mom's sunroom. I was like selling detox tea.
It was booming.
Shapers. Like I literally was making like $1,900 a day. Like I was booming 900, 800. Like I was booming.
That shit was crazy, one.
Like crazy. Then the feds come knocking on my door.
So boom. So you in 2020.
I'm in 2020.
You finally get where you want to be. You comfortable. You doing your thing. And then the stuff that you've been wanting to get rid of in your mind finally has been gone.
It come at your door.
It come knocking now. It come the time that they asking for the people that you don't want to look for. They done finally put the stuff together. and
Right.
pick you
But
up.
you know what? Hold on. Let me rewind. Let me go back. So I'm telling you, okay, so it's COVID going on and we booming, right? I end up taking my babies to the water park. So, of course, old boy watches everything I do on social media. So he DM'd me and he was like, I see you in Mississippi. But at this point, he's in Mississippi. He's in Jackson, Mississippi,
Right.
posted up. So he hit me up or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. So he like, pull up on the restaurant and come see me, right? So I go and see him at the restaurant. So when I go see him at the restaurant, he was acting like he was just so happy to see me. So he called his mom and was like, guess who here? Or whatever. And he like, Alexis. Mind you, that's
So that's your alias?
That's my dance name.
Okay.
Alexis is my dance name. So I'm like, why would he tell
his
her
mom.
Alexis when Alexis is who they was looking for
Right.
with the situation with his nephew?
Right.
So I'm like, at this point I'm thinking she had something to do with it, cause I'm like, and she was so happy to talk to me like she not be like that. Like I only seen you a couple times at your restaurant.
Right.
Like, be for real. So, boom. I say something to him about it. I said, you know, what's going on with the situation? I've never said nothing to him since the day that it happened.
Yeah, did you kind of spooked and you just
I've never
don't want
said
to
that. So, this time, I said something to him. I said, he was like, oh, everything good. Like, it's over with. He like, everything good, it's over with. So I'm like, okay. I go back home or whatever. Literally a few weeks later, I heard boom, 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 boom at my door. I'm like, who is it? It's the FBI. I said, you got the wrong house. They like, no, we got a warrant for your arrest, Terica Ellis. Open up.
That's crazy. Was your kids home when this happened?
My heart dropped. My heart dropped. My kids was home. It was just me and my kids, of course. And they was like asking about my phone and stuff. Like, where your phone and stuff at? Get dressed. You coming with us? Call somebody to get your kids. So I had my baby call my mom. And she called my mom. She was like 16. So my oldest was 16 and my little baby was 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so they took me down to, I was staying in Olive Branch. So they took me to like one of the police precincts in Mississippi. Oh my God. I was like petrified. So one of the detectives was in the back and he was talking to me. And he was just like, we see you doing this, we see you doing this. So he started bringing up like outfits my baby had on stuff. Somebody said that must have
Just
cost
letting
a
you
lot
know
of
that
money.
they've been watching you the whole time.
Me. Let me know they've been watching me. Whatever.
Wow. Did he say how long he was watching you for?
They didn't say how long. They didn't say how long at all.
But you could probably imagine about the things that he was telling you that he saw.
Yep.
So you picked up. So you I know they doing questioning and all that stuff. And I know the whole time in your head, like, wow, these folks didn't put this shit together. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure they had the last phone calls that you made to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that what they picked up and they got the text messages and stuff like that.
But see, they had it all wrong though, because they thought I just went in and just set this dude up like they thought I knew him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
They thought I had knew him. Just like, they thought it was really on some for my man type shit. And that wasn't even the case.
So when they picked you up for their no, did Tim get picked up too?
Afterwards, he did.
He got picked up.
I got picked up first.
So let me ask you this: are you locked? Did they lock you up and hold y'all?
They locked me up.
Okay, cool.
I didn't. Yeah, I was locked up until the case was over.
So did you?
So how long was that?
31 months.
Ooh.
So let me ask you this: did you hear from him while you was in there?
Nope.
So was he locked up the same time you were locked up?
Yeah, I said they picked him up.
So I'm saying because you asked if he heard from her, so he was locked up too.
Yeah.
So she couldn't hear from him because they both was locked up.
You still can hear from him?
Yeah, you still can hear from people.
But
You
he probably
can.
don't want to talk on the phone.
Nah, cause at the
You
end
can send a message.
he could have sent a message. You
He
know?
probably ain't trying to say like too much.
At this point, I felt like he could have told them people that this girl ain't know what was going on. Like,
So y'all go to trial. He's in there, you in there. Did you have to tell them everything that you telling us right now?
I did. I literally had to go into complete details though. But when they first got me though, they literally thought the worst of me. Like, they was like, you're facing death penalty, life in prison. You're never gonna see your kids again. It was crazy. A bunch of officers all over the place. It was so scary because, like, I danced for all those years, and of course, when you dance, you gonna run into so many D-boys. Like, I danced in Detroit, New York. I'm talking about I danced all over the world. And so, like, I used to stay having dudes asking me to, take work down the highway. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to dance and get my money. Like, nah, nah, I ain't going to put my life on the line like that. So it's like, now here I am facing the one thing that I feared is going to jail. Like,
it's in your face right now.
And then, not only that, not being able to be a mother to my kids. My kids are my world. My kids are my reason for living. So, like, now I got these two things. Like, not only am I locked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm away from my babies.
Yeah.
You know, so
31 months is a long time.
yeah, but you know what? I was praying for 10 years. I was praying to get 10 years at the best 5.
Yeah,
Damn.
because they were sure going to try to
Because
steal girls.
I got my charge was conspiracy murder for hire.
Mm.
That's worse than
What?
murder.
Sure live.
That's life. I was literally standing in front of a judge and he was telling me like, you're facing death penalty.
That's crazy.
I literally used to go in the courtroom and I used to be shaking. Like I'm kind of shaking now just talking about
Just
it.
thinking
'cause,
about
That's
it.
a
the
lot.
play.
Shit.
So
Man.
when y'all in court, you saying your piece and telling your part, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, they had made you as a monster. Because when I first heard the story, when people tell me the story, they like the guy with sweetie pies, yada yada yada, and then they always say, you know, it was a girl from Memphis that set it up.
Mhm.
So I'm saying like this around the world, everybody know this story,
Around the world.
but it always end the bad person is you. I'm gonna keep it G. Like
I already know.
they like, man, the girl
Yeah,
from
the
Memphis,
woman
and the first
set
thing they
up.
say, the Memphis bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what's so crazy though? Is like all this time I dance, like I've been around so many motherfuckers like, and my dad, my blood dad was a pimp. You know what I'm saying? He used to have hoes pickpocketing niggas for Rolexes.
Nah, for
and,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been on that. I believe in karma.
Nah, for sure.
Karma is real. I just want to hustle and get my money.
Me
That's
too.
it.
That's why you
I don't
still
want
here.
shit that don't belong to me.
Nah, for
You
real.
know what I'm saying? Karma is real.
For real.
So, like, all that time dancing and being around motherfuckers, I used to even have to tell bitches, hey, don't do that around me.
For real.
I was with a bitch one time, and she was mad the nigga didn't give her money. She was finna take some. I said, nah, around me, you not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I believe in karma
Nah,
for
sure.
real.
For
So,
sure.
like, in the end, that's what was persuaded. You know what I'm saying? And everybody gonna have their opinion.
Yeah.
But my truth saved me.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Because the government don't play no games. They don't give a fuck about no
Hell
money
no.
or your life.
Nah.
They want their time.
Nah, for sure.
So if you did this shit and that's what it is, them
Yeah.
people want their time.
Nah, for sure.
So my first offer was 25 years.
That's crazy.
And you could have signed for that.
My first offer was 25 years. I had 4 lawyers. The government assigned me 4 lawyers because I was facing death penalty. Then they dropped one. I had a whole team of lawyers. But I was like, man, look, I got to get my own lawyer. Fuck them, you know what I'm saying? I got to get because they kept saying, tell us more, you know more. Because at this point, they didn't even have a shooter. Because I didn't know the shooter.
I remember they came out like way later.
They didn't
I
even
remember
know, you know what I'm saying? They literally had to work because I only knew what I knew. I didn't know much. I didn't know nothing about no insurance policy.
So
I didn't know nothing about none of the details.
So he never in the process of this trial going on, he never said, hey, she had nothing to do with this.
Never. He actually tried to say that me and the nephew stole the money. He tried to say me and the nephew stole the money.
Man.
And me and the killer got together to kill the nephew over the money. That's what was his narrative.
Damn. So the trial going on, you say your thing, he get on, y'all testify, woo woo, and he gets sentenced. And they tell you, so when he gets sentenced, did you already knew what your fate was going to be?
Well, so I signed a plea deal, 0 to 20 years.
Okay.
So they could have gave me up to 20 years. That's what I signed.
Okay.
I could have got anywhere up to 20 years.
Okay.
So I went and I testified, and it was crazy. Because when I got on the stand, right before I got on the stand, I prayed that God would let my truth shine, you know. So when I got on the stand, his lawyer asked me all the right questions. He asked me, did I know he was going to be murdered? Of course, I did not know. He asked me, did I have any clue? He asked me, not knowing about the insurance policy. He asked me everything that cleared me.
That's
His
what's up.
lawyer.
His lawyer.
That ain't nothing but God.
Then he turned around and contradicted himself and said, well, you been dancing a long time. You been manipulating men and this and that. Baby, you not already cleared me.
For real.
So everybody went from, she never getting out of jail. I literally had family members telling my mom, your daughter ain't never coming home.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know, and it's so crazy. Then everybody my family started getting calls from people. Yeah, Terica come home. Now, but
Now
at
they
this
switching
point,
up.
we had 30-some months.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
so, I just remember after that happened, after I testified and stuff, it was getting ready for me to be sentenced. And people tried their best to, like, they leaked my letters from my family and friends. You know, it was all over the internet. You know, it was just crazy. So my lawyer came and he saw me, and he was like, I got good news for you. First of all, I was supposed to be sentenced way before, because at this point, I'm sitting in a federal holdover all this time. Like, I'm in county jail. I ain't doing prison time. So county jail, anybody that been in jail know, county jail is hard time. County jail, you have more freedom in prison. I was ready to go to prison and go to school and
for sure.
come out better, because I
Right.
knew that God had put me in this predicament. And at the end, I was going to be better.
Yeah.
Whatever God put before me, I knew I was going to survive it.
Exactly.
Right.
And I was willing to take the time because I was caught up in this shit. My decisions got me caught up. Whether I knew or not, whether I did not know, but I'm still in this shit.
Right. So you was just ready
Yeah,
to
already-
take what
You know
came
what
with
You
it.
had
I
just
was ready
settled
to
in your
take-
mind,
right,
like, come on,
like-
let's do this.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
because my bad decisions, those are my consequences. These are my consequences
And that's
of
real.
making the wrong decisions.
A lot of people
Right.
don't
Or
think
trusting
like
the wrong people.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I knew God would had me. He gonna work on me. Me and my kids was completely blessed throughout the whole ordeal. My lawyer was paid for in cash. My kids had Christmases, birthdays. We
That's a
we didn't want for nothing. So I knew God had His hands on me. He had His hand. I literally got to talk to my kids all day, every day,
That's good.
and they cost money.
Yeah.
I got the
What?
video call them. I used to see my kids for Christmas. I spent Christmas with them on video call, birthdays. Like, they had everything. You know what I'm saying? They
That's
just
blessed.
had a mama in their presence. But I knew that we were going to be okay.
Yeah.
And my mama kept saying, you coming home, you coming home, you coming home. So my sentencing day got pushed back. And I was like, at this point, I was crying so hard, because I'm like,
That's devastating.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, get this
I'm
shit
tired
over
of
with.
going
Yeah.
through this. Like, let's just get it over with, because to see her and not know what your fate is,
Man.
to not know, like, what's going to go on, like, it was crazy. And then I remember I was in jail. I was getting ready to go to, they had family set my sentencing date 4 days after my birthday. And all the girls was huddled up, and they was gossiping, and they was like, yeah, she finna go to jail for life.
Damn.
So my lawyer told me, he said, I'm letting you know now that the government is thinking about giving you 36 months. This was like literally the day before. I was blown away, but I couldn't tell nobody. I couldn't tell my, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't
Especially
tell
it
my,
ain't happened yet.
right. And then
So
I don't know,
basically, does that
it could have
mean-
been.
Because I'm a little. I don't really know like a lot about jail and stuff like that. So does that mean like you would have had basically time served and then a couple months left?
Yeah, so
Okay.
so you do 85% of your time in the field.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, if you go to prison, you can go to classes and get time off and all this stuff there.
Okay.
So I had to do 85%. So it gave me time served, though, because at this point I had 30 months in, so I had to do like another 4 weeks. But like going in, that was just only their recommendation. The judge had the power to do whatever he wanted to do.
Right.
The ball was in his court.
And that was the up to 20 years from
Up
the plea
to
deal you
20
signed.
years, right.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in there, my whole family, my kids. I hadn't seen my kids in person in forever in my family. So I'm sitting in the courtroom and just crazy. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just listening to this man family talk. And my heart go out to him because I had a brother that was killed, that was shot, dead, killed, you know. So I know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? And like I told them when I stood up, I was like, my heart go out to y'all and I apologize for my part in it. And Lord knows
That's
if I
some
could
real
take
shit.
it back, I would. But I can't, you know. So, of course, if anybody knew about that case, of course, a lot of people didn't know the complete details. But Tim had actually sought several women to set his nephew up. He was determined. I wasn't the only person. And that was one of the reasons why, you know what I'm saying, the government, you know what I'm saying, was able to break that case because they had other people that they talked to and other women, and their story matched my story.
So hold up. Other women is like
Like it was, yeah, he had like another woman that she didn't know he was gonna kill him neither. He just he had her talking to him for months. So like he had her talking to him for months. And so she got mad at him. And that's when she told the nephew, like, you know, your uncle been looking for you, blase, blase, all that stuff there.
Because I heard that Andre actually went to the police and was like, if anything happened to me, it's my uncle.
Right, exactly.
oh, so he
So
went
that's
to the
how
police and
so that's
told
how he knew because the girl told him. So
The
then he
girl
went to the
had
police.
told him, right? So, like, my story matched somebody that I never even met before.
and they're like, okay.
So, like, exactly. So, but at first, in the beginning, I was the villain as well. So, you know, they got up in court and they was like, Judge, we asked you in Jesus' name to get this lady life in prison. And the judge said, my heart go out to y'all and I feel y'all. But this young lady right here, she don't deserve to be in no prison. He said that she's a victim as well. She was manipulated. She had no idea. And he said, I'm sorry to say this, but this was going to happen to Andre regardless whether she was involved or
Because if
not.
you didn't do it,
This
somebody
what
else
the
was
judge
gonna do
said.
it.
This is what the judge said.
Man, that's crazy. I know that from you hearing that, I know you like, Lord, I'm finna go home.
And then so the judge also said, he said, if it wasn't for her, this would also be a unsolved case. Because that was like,
And he's sitting right in there.
who?
10.
No, he wasn't. This was at my sentence.
This your sentence, okay.
This is my sentence.
Okay.
Tim hadn't even been sentenced yet. This was
Okay.
my sentence.
Okay.
He had already been to trial and
Okay.
lost, though.
Mm,
So I can't even believe he took them people to trial knowing he was guilty.
that was crazy.
Like, you got to be some kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because I've never opened up and spoken to anyone besides my family and friends.
Yeah.
I actually never felt the need because I don't care what people think about me.
Right, you know what
I know
what the truth
God,
is.
and God showed up for me, and He showed me that He judges the heart. And if God is for you, who can be against you?
Nah, for sure. Talking.
You know what I'm saying? He showed me.
Yeah.
He showed me, like,
Yeah.
he like, and he's like, I'm so grateful, and I actually got a second chance at life, and life could have been over for me.
And we happy that, you got a second chance. Like, that's why it's so important to tell your story. You know what I'm saying? Now, you don't owe nobody no explanation
Right.
but you and God.
Right.
But sometimes stories can get
Yeah. And then, you know
misunderstood.
what, I do like to, like, tell people, like, other young women and, just other people, like, because trusting the wrong people could get you in a whole nother, like, you know what I'm saying, can cost you your life, seriously. And that experience alone, it just has me super cautious.
Yeah.
Because it showed me a different type of evil in the world.
And see, this is the thing, too. I was just telling my people. Most of the stuff that I've been in had something to do with someone else.
And this another thing, too, they looked at, had I not been dealing with Tim, I wouldn't have ever even been in that type of trouble because they like, They like Miss Ellis. We have went over your. They like these folks found out so much about me. Like they literally talked to people that was connected to me to somebody else. Like the government go and talk to people like, say I know you and I dated you. They go and they talk to your cousin and your friend. They don't want to talk to you directly. They want to talk to somebody that know y'all because they know you gon' they gonna tell. They don't have no reason to protect you to see what your character is. So yeah, they went and they did that. They talked to so many people, you know.
And they didn't have nothing bad to say about
And
you.
they just, you know, kept it real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not only that, it's like I was molested as a kid. I was molested, and then when I was 16, I had this guy that was like 28 that I started dating. He convinced me to like run away from my family and stuff, and then he started pimping me, like.
Wow.
And so, like, I kind of had went through that, and then, like, I had got, like, addicted to X pills and stuff. Like, at 16, like,
That's crazy.
I almost died. Like, I literally tried to hang myself, all type of stuff. It was, like, horrible for me. Like, he used to beat me. So, like, for them to know that story, they, like, you should have been in trouble. They said that because the government has they analyze your character. They analyze people. Like, this is what they do for a living. They have people on their payroll.
There's a lot of people that go through that type of trauma.
Because they need to know what, you know how y'all watch, what's that New York show where the crime, like the crime show?
CSI.
Yeah, and stuff. And you see how they be, the set, you know, this is...
That made the person beat his way in life.
Exactly. So, like, they was like, I should have been in some type of trouble.
You didn't let that mess up your character.
I ain't let that mess up. Exactly. So, like, yeah, me dancing, but that was just, like, what I was taught. That was taught for my hustle. That's what and for so long, I thought that was my identity until I started doing lashes.
Because basically, if you was in a different setting, you would have been doing different stuff.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that what a lot of people don't understand. And to go back to what you were saying, that's why it's always be good to everybody. Everybody that comes in contact with you.
Because they would have tried to paint you to be a totally different person if these other people had negative things to say about you.
Exactly.
Yep. And it's like, it be so crazy because, again, it goes back to karma. Like, God showed up for me because I've always been straight up. I've always been straight up, and I've always tried to do what was right.
He got a funny way of paying us back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna come when we want it.
But you know, it was so crazy. I had people that I barely even knew, that I didn't even have a friendship with, sending money and stuff to my kids and family. Like, we just want to be there for her. We just want to support her.
Because they knew.
Exactly.
They knew that you were on it.
I had more people against me than for me, but I had support too. I had people like, really, and I still to this day have people that contact me, older women and people, and they be like calling me their niece and stuff and be like, oh, I'm so happy you home. Like, it's been times I've been in the store and people recognize me and just want to hug on me and be like, I'm so glad you made it out of that, and I was praying for you. And but I've also had people contact me and say, you murderer, and you know, I've had that. You know, you go different both ways.
So how does that make you feel, like when people say, you know, like call you a murderer and stuff like that?
Thank God know my character. Thank God I got God. Thank God I'm confident in who I am as a person. And I pray for people like that, because you gotta be some type of miserable with yourself to even to think you can judge somebody. Because I honestly feel like anybody could have been in that predicament. Because when you trust somebody, you know what I'm saying? When you put your trust in somebody
for a long
time,
you don't see that coming. You know what I'm saying?
That's some Illuminati stuff to me.
Especially like if
that's, you know, like that don't even happen. That don't happen. I'm not racist, but that don't happen in the black community.
Yeah, you don't even think that people are capable of stuff like that.
Think about it. He's on TV.
Exactly.
They got a popular. Not that it's just on TV. They got a popular restaurant
all over the world.
So you ain't thinking it's finna go high. Finna go, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, that could have happened to her. That could have happened to me. I was like, oh, he right here.
Exactly. Because just think, right, say your peoples hit you up, you know what I'm saying, like your close peoples, and you'd be like, man, so-and-so just took it. Man, that's messed up. Man, go get your money, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I gotta think I always put myself in other shoes. That's big for me. Like, that's why I like, since I've been home, I be going to feed the homeless and stuff, because I know I could have lost my mind. I could be in them people predicament. I could be gone for the rest of my life. So if I see somebody and God put them in front of me and I can help them, I'ma do just that. Because
do you ever like sit around and it just come to you one day like, oh shit, I'm free?
man, how many times?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I had a big thing, like, when I was in jail. Like, I used to watch church a lot. And I used to, like, wish I could be, in church and, like, physical. Like, because at the end of the day, the end goal is being a better you.
Right.
So, it's times where I be in church and I be, like, I could see me standing at the payphone, standing at the jail phone, making a collect call. And I just be praising God, because, man, that was my life.
No, sure.
When them folks first freed me at the federal building, y'all, I was lost. I didn't know where to go and what to do. I was so used to having shackles on my arms and my legs. I ain't had no phone, and then I had to use somebody's phone to call my friends and stuff. Like, I was surprising my mama and my family. So only my friends that stayed in St. Louis knew I was coming home on that day. I called them first thing that morning and was like, y'all, you done pick me up, because I was in Illinois, so they had to drive me to St. Louis, and then my friends drove me to Memphis, and I was able to surprise my mama and my kids.
I know she thought she saw a ghost that day.
Girl, I surprised my mama and my baby. They was at the laundromat. It was so, and then my oldest, she does lashes and stuff too. Okay. She was actually doing somebody's lashes.
What?
When I popped up. Yep, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing, and I was so grateful for those.
Well, we happy for you too, by the way, because we
sure.
love for one thing of getting charged for something that you didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So you're at home now. His sentence come how later after that?
No, he actually I want to say he got sentenced, because I had to wait like 4 weeks, like 4 or 5 weeks before I went home.
Okay.
So he actually got sentenced in during that time while I was in there.
So you knew he's getting sentenced while you were in there.
Yeah, I heard. My lawyer, kept me informed of everything.
So what did he end up getting?
He got life plus 20.
Damn. So have you heard from any from him or anybody?
No, but one day I saw him on my story, watching my story from his page.
Damn.
So I guess he wanted me to know that he see me.
So you put a story up and you seen his profile pop up on your stuff.
Yeah, you know how when you
How'd
watch
it make you feel?
A little nervous. And
Like this ain't over with type.
It was I felt like it was probably like a warning. But you know what? Again, just like God protected me when that man came in my house and had me at gunpoint, and he fled up out that house like I had some niggas come up out the closet with some Uzis. That's how I feel like God, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like God has the ultimate power and the ultimate control, and I know he protects me from unseen evil. You know what I'm saying? He protects me at all times. I know that.
One thing, I'm a God person. Like, you definitely protect me.
I'm big on it. And he freed me for a reason. So that's why I did decide to go ahead. I've had Oxygen Network. I've had a lot of people contact me to do interviews and to be a part of documentaries and all of that. But when I came in here and when I sat down and when I talked to y'all, it was like God was telling me, like, this the time.
That's crazy, because something like that, you wouldn't just open up and tell people that. But it's just like we're real genuine people, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you come in, like, we don't judge nobody. I know what that's like to be judged based off, you know what I'm saying, your appearance and stuff like that. And then you look familiar, and it's only because I used to be in a strip club.
Yeah.
Like, the year that you used to dance at Bottoms Up, I was outside.
Yeah.
So I knew you. And so that's why I was like, I was like, I'm from St. Louis. You like, I'm saying, like, where you used to work at Bottoms Up? Like, girl, I was in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, like, and it was just crazy that, like, you came out and, you was talking about that, and, you felt comfortable, because, we ain't know nothing, we ain't judging you, you know what I'm saying? Like, we only know what the media puts out about somebody. And, honestly, I didn't really follow the case too closely because I told you I used to be cool with him. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, and it's crazy because you wouldn't think that like he was that type of person. Like he was real friendly. He helped a
Yes.
lot of people. He on
Yes.
TV. He got these restaurant chains and stuff like that. So, if you feel like you helping a friend, you really don't know.
Exactly, like, cause like he really was my friend. Like he really put me up on a lot.
Yeah, he definitely was that type of person.
Like,
Yeah.
like I'm talking about, I can call him and he gonna send me that money.
Mhm.
Like, and like I said, he was once told me about the fashion district in LA to go get the clothes and stuff. So like, yeah, like nah, I wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? And it hurt. You know what I'm saying?
And just to go off what I see, you know what I'm saying, from him, I still think he was I think he was a good person. I think he has a temper problem, what I seen.
He does. He got a temper problem for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I seen. So I feel like his emotions got too much of him at that time. And he just, probably react to it. You know what I'm saying?
But I felt like it was messed up because give me a choice.
For sure.
Yeah.
Give me a choice.
That's
That
where
part.
the problem comes
That
in.
part right
like,
there.
Give me a choice.
Because
Ask me, am I cool
It's
with
people.
that?
It's people out here that are okay with that.
Exactly.
Beyond okay with that.
It's a bunch of shiesty chicks out here
No.
that would have loved to do it with no problem.
They would've did it themselves.
And I'm sure they wouldn't even got caught.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And had I been on that, I wouldn't have got caught neither. I wouldn't have gave this man my information. I gave him my information. I text him my information. That is how, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
A
that's
person who knows that they setting somebody up,
They not
not
gonna do
finna
that.
give you their information. They're not finna talk to you on their real phone and go get a burner phone later.
Right.
Come on, man.
Come on,
Make
man.
it make sense.
For real.
But again, to each their own. If people feel how they feel, you got that to do. That's on you. That's a personal problem. But God say, don't judge. And be careful. Like I tell people, don't find yourself in a situation you can't get out of.
Man.
Don't find yourself in a situation. And you can't point no finger at nobody because we all sin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just be grateful that you ain't been put in no
I
predicament
finna
like
just
that.
say,
And
yeah.
I thank God that I came out the way I did. And like I said, he opened my eyes to a lot.
Yeah.
And he also changed me mentally because I was about go get me some money. Do you know what I'm saying? Do it. Go get your money. Like now, I know all money ain't good money. Cause that $10,000 almost cost me my life.
Yeah.
And it definitely cost me time with my family. Like I literally was on at home 7 days and lost my mom. My mom died in my arms.
Man, I'm sorry.
I only got to spend 7 days with my mom. Touched her for 7 days. Came home, but I thank God because she could have left while I was in there.
Yeah.
So that was a gift he gave me also. Because she had heart failure.
Hey, listen. This is something.
So he gifted me. He gave me 2 big gifts within 7 days. And y'all know that number 7 means completion.
Yeah. My birthday January the 7th.
Okay then. All right, big Capricorn.
Big Capricorn.
Big Capricorn. That's what's up.
It means
I'm
completion.
January the 20th.
That's what's up. You are
Yeah.
in Jan.
I'm January the 20th.
Yeah, 7 mean completion.
Yeah,
Like,
7 means something. And so, like, I'm grateful. And I just want to we have to be careful who we deal with, though.
Yeah.
And like I read in the Bible, it took for me to go to jail to sit down and actually read the Bible. And it says, bad company corrupts good character.
It does. It really does.
So you really have to be careful who you deal with.
Are you kind of like, I know people, period, but I like you kind of like scared of men type shit?
I'm very cautious. Because, and not only that, I hate meeting new guys because I got to explain this to them. You know, I got to give you a choice and an option. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to give you that. You got that. I owe you that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need to know who you dealing with.
No, and come on now. You can't ask for nothing more.
You need to know, you know what I'm saying? And it's your choice, and I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? But overall, though, it also taught me what type of man I want. You know what I'm saying? And the characteristics
And it
to
ain't
look
got
for.
nothing to do with money.
And another thing, you really have to get to know people. Like,
No,
you
you do.
really have to, like, you really had to, because I dealt with him, but I didn't deal
You
with
didn't.
him.
Exactly.
Yeah, you didn't really know who you.
Yeah, like, I
dealing
really didn't know who I was dealing with, because I was just in it for benefits.
I mean, you could be around a person 10 years and just not knowing them on the 10th year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it goes like this. Let me ask you a question, and this the last thing.
Okay.
Are you happy?
I got peace. I would say, cause before I left, I didn't have peace at all. Like, I was so grateful. I'm so happy that the situation is finally over with, and I'm grateful. And every day I don't take life for granted. So I got peace. And my mom is one of my mom and my kids and my family are my motivation. So with my mom leaving and the way she stood for me and prayed over me and believed in me coming home, I have to make her proud. I have to show up every day for her, for my kids, and for my family, and for everybody that was praying for me, and for all my support.
Yeah, so you got your boutique and stuff going
Yep,
now.
I got a boutique
You
called
say you-
Science Perfection.
And you say you about to write a book.
Yep, I actually am. It's going to be called I Survived by Terica Ellis.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so it's currently being worked on now.
That's what's up.
And my boutique, I named it after my mom, Science Perfection.
Okay.
Yep, so, yep, that's it. And then, like, soon, once everything is completely done and because I'm still building my life. I'm still,
Right.
Still,
you know,
Picking up the pieces
picking up
and-
the
yeah.
pieces. So, but once I want to start an organization for women and for women and young girls and
That's
kids, kids with parents incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
Because when a parent is incarcerated, imagine how those kids, you know,
especially the
imagine
mother.
is especially a mother. Them kids go through stuff.
Okay, they go through a lot.
They go through
if
a
they don't
lot.
have the right
my
people around them.
my babies, my youngest had to go through therapy. You know,
Because
She
one
had-
thing people got to understand it, ain't nobody going to take care of your kids how you do.
Ain't nobody
Yeah.
gonna take care of your kids like you. Nobody. And my baby had separation anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, and she had
But she
to
was
go.
so young.
Yes.
You know.
And then she had sickle cells too, so
She's
So she
dealing
going
with
through
stuff,
health
yeah,
and she
issues
wants
with
you.
her
through
mom.
hell, exactly. But my mom was amazing. Oh my
Exactly.
God. Kudos to my
Yeah,
mom.
kudos
That's
to
right.
mama.
She was amazing. She did her thing, y'all. She
already knew
did.
it.
She held me down. And I got her legacy has to live on. We're going to do great things in her name.
That's right.
Shout out to
Yeah.
mama. She hold it down.
Yeah,
man.
even from heaven, I feel like she
Yeah.
be making moves. I tell her, Mom, you keep making the moves up here. I'm going to keep
I
doing the
got you
footwork
down
down
here.
here.
I got you down
For real.
here.
We ain't going to let it go in vain at all.
Well, we so happy to have you. Like,
Hold
for
on real quick, cause you said something yesterday. Then you said you wanted to rap.
Look.
So you gonna be
So
dropping
look,
some
I
music?
used to rap when
Oh,
I
that's
was
what's
younger,
up.
like in my early 20s. I was cold. I could have been cold, but them streets had me. I wanted my fast money. I used to model and rap. But them streets I wanted my fast money. I couldn't. I was getting that fast money, so I've been thinking about it. I don't know. I might. I'm thinking. I'm
think you
definitely
should.
thinking about it.
I
I'm
think you
definitely
should.
am.
Yeah, any advice you need on that, you know.
Yeah,
that's what
I
we do.
appreciate
That's
that.
what we do.
Hey, y'all real. I mess with y'all a long
We-
way
we
because,
fuck with you too.
man, I done had so many, like, networks trying to offer me money. I won't because I'm not gonna give the devil the power because they trying to make money off of someone's tragedy. That was a tragedy. But I ain't talking to nobody else.
I want
We
you to know,
appreciate
like, we're super grateful, and I know you, and it's all we just genuine people.
Yeah,
And you know, most time you meet genuine person, but we a genuine couple. Like we don't be on nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I know you seen, and you good judge with care. I know you watched us all yesterday. And
Yeah, exactly. But you know what though? I'ma tell y'all. I learned vibes. I learned to really feel people.
yeah,
If the warning signs be there.
yeah,
The warning signs, I had warning signs with him. No matter, forget, but we let money cloud our judgment.
Yeah. You ignore
That,
it.
you ignore it. But the sign with anybody, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna know if someone's genuine or not, and if someone's for you or against you. Them spirits don't lie at all.
don't.
No.
Take heed.
Believe it.
Believe it and take heed. So I have people that be literally trying to get at me, dudes with big money. I'm not going nowhere near you, shawty.
Man.
I ain't going nowhere near you. You not worth my life.
And then I don't be really true happiness.
Exactly.
The money, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what they don't know.
uh-huh.
Exactly.
You cool. This is
Oh,
real. We real up here. She got a pee, y'all.
That's my big cousin, my
That's
big
big
dog.
cousin.
That's my big cousin.
That's
But
real.
listen, vibes, we gotta go. I know we gotta go. But listen, to a lot young people, you know, women out there, and if you dancing and if you getting your money, cause I did it for a long time, man, do something with it. Invest in yourself,
Before you can get out of
but
it.
also keep your conscience.
That
Keep
is so
God
true.
first.
Yes.
And keep your conscience. Don't do nothing to nobody you don't want done to yourself.
So, you know, one thing, and say this before we get in, because you know Tim gonna see it. You know, his family gonna see it. His mama. What messages? You know, they gonna see it. Give him a message right now.
I mean, it is what it is. It happened. It happened. Tim pulled me in this.
Yeah.
I didn't put myself in this. Tim pulled me in this. He chose me. He chose me and pulled me in this. He didn't give me a choice. Then he tried to throw me up under the bus and lie on me and my name and my character. So yeah, I feel some type of way. But God bless him and God bless his family.